Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. We're doing the NFL odds ranking for some of the divisions. As you guys know, they rank the divisions like before the season starts. Kind of like the odd rankings and the odd makers that say who they believe is going to be first in division, second, third, and fourth in each division of each conference. So we're going to go into that and look at their rankings. And I'm also getting my own rankings, kind of rearrange them to the way I believe that's going to happen when the season starts. So let's get straight into that right now. First up, we have, of course, the AFC East. And the rankings they have for the AFC East, they have the Bills at number 1, they have the Dolphins at 2, have the Jets at 3, and the Patriots at 4. Now, in my opinion, I believe this is not a bad, super bad ranking right here. This is a pretty solid one, but I'll move a few pieces around. I'm going to move the Dolphins up to the first spot in my list right here. So I'm going to have Dolphins first. I'm going to have Dolphins first on my list. And I'm also going to have the Bills at second, of course. I'm going to switch them out. And I think the other parts of the list is pretty normal. I think the Jets and the Patriots, what other marker at? The Jets and the Patriots are going to be kind of around that same spot right there. I know the Jets are still, the Jets probably they could make the playoffs. You know, they got Aaron Rodgers, got some new pieces added on, Mike Williams added on as well. But the Patriots are still rebuilding stage. They got a long ways to go. They just got a new coach as well. I think they might have a solid season year one, but you got a rookie quarterback, so we got to see how things pan out. But in my opinion, I think the Bills will be second in division. I know King Coleman is added to the team. Like I mentioned, remember before my NFL mock draft I did before the draft started, I said King Coleman will be a great addition for the Bills. I said him and Stephon Diggs will be a good duo. But then the following day, Stephon Diggs got traded. I was like, okay, well, King Coleman by himself will still be a good duo with somebody else they got on the roster. So the Bills got to build up a young receiver. Josh Allen going to be there without Stephon Diggs. Now, remember Josh Allen before he had Stephon Diggs, he was all right, but he was not like the Josh Allen we know now. So we're going to see how he kind of translates as well. The Dolphins team is still structured well. Coach McDaniels doing a very good job with that team. I think they can go on to be the best team in that division and probably find a way to win that division. So I'm going with the Dolphins with the the winners of the AFC East, Bills second, Jets third, and Patriots fourth. Moving on next to the AFC South. The division, the rankings they have for the AFC South, the odd makers, they had Texans first, they had the Jaguars second, they had the Colts third, and the Titans last in the division. Now, with this list right here, I agree with the Texans being first. Yes, I'm going to keep that Texans at first spot. Jaguars being above the Colts. Now, it depends. The Jaguars is a tricky team to kind of like put in different spots because they always seem to have like a weird, like, I don't know, weird dynamic with them. They either start the season off terribly and then get hot at the end of the year, or they start the season off good and then fall off at the end of the year. So it's like a weird team the way they've been doing stuff lately. And Trevor Lawrence is a good player, but he hasn't panned out to be that big time, superb, generational #1 pick talent they was like kind of like hyping him up to be. I think he still has that in him, but I feel like he still haven't reached that level yet. He's still very young, of course. He still had a chance. I think he's entering year 4, so we're gonna see what happens. But I think the list is solid. Titans are a good team too. I think Will Levis, and you added of course Calvin Ridley with DeAndre Hopkins there, so their offense will be a little better, but their defense took a lot of hits. Losing Coach Vrabel took a big hit too as well, so we're gonna see what happens with that. But I think overall this is a solid list, so I agree with what the odd makers put for the AFC South. So I will have Texans first. Texans I think the Texans have the best offseason. You look at C.J. Stroud, what he did the past year, you know, them picking him up and stuff as well, but them go out there in this free agency after making the divisional round, getting Joe Mixon, getting Daniel Hunter, getting Stephon Diggs. They added these big key pieces on both sides of the ball, and the coach is very good, as you guys know. So having these guys, D'Amico Ryans, his mentality, the way he go out there and get his team prepped up, I think the team's going to be a force to be reckoned with. They're going to be contending for the AFC Championship game. They're going to be up there contending for the Super Bowl as well. They have a nice roster, and plus you don't have to pay a quarterback yet. Let's say Stroud's in year 2 of his contract. So when you have like that success, your quarterback that good in year 1, it kind of gives you that little freedom to go out there and make these big moves. So we're going to see the Texans try to maximize their window right now and do some crazy things. I think Texans go out there and win this division and go out there and compete to be an AFC champion maybe too as well. So I agree with the odd makers list for the AFC South. Now next is the AFC North football. As you guys know, I'm a Steelers fan, as you can see from the stuff on the on the wall. You know, the Steelers tickets right here, Super Bowl tickets. Haven't the Super Bowl in a while, you know, the Super Bowl. Oh, we got Super Bowl 9, 10. No, we beat the Cowboys, and Super Bowl 13 as well. Super Bowl I forgot what Super Bowl that was. But Super Bowl, which one is that? That's Super Bowl I'm tripping. 40. That's 43. That one's 43, and that one's on Super Bowl 40, I believe. So yeah, I think they won. That's the one with Big Ben. That's Coach Coward last year. That's the last time. Yeah, 40th anniversary. So yeah, so we got all the Super Bowls in there right there. The Super Bowl tickets right there. They have them kind of like upside down looking. You know, got the Steelers stuff. You know, it's SteelerNation over here. You know, got the trading cards and stuff. SteelerNation over here. So of course, you guys know I'm gonna have this ranking stuff. I'm not gonna be biased. I'm not gonna be biased and nothing like that. But starting off first, I'm gonna put the Steelers at number 1. I'm just playing. Now I'm gonna put the Steelers at probably second. Steelers second in this list. Now, and I'm gonna put the Ravens. I'm gonna say the Ravens first. Bengals, I'm gonna put them third, and then Browns fourth. Now, I'll re-rank because the way that they had the list kind of for the odd makers had Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. They had the Steelers ranked bottom of the division for the past 4 years, and they have never been the bottom of the division since 1980. I think before my mom was even born, and that's the last time the Steelers have been the bottom of the division. So for them to keep putting the Steelers down there, putting them down there like at the bottom of the division is like crazy. So I think the Steelers have proven day in, day out that they might start off a little shaky, but at the end of the day, they found a way to get, kind of get some momentum going and get themselves into the playoffs or get themselves a winning record as well. So I'm gonna say the Steelers finish second. Adam Russell, if you can go out there and finish second in division last year, well, I think third in division last year, one game behind. We almost second in division, but like you finished third in division last year, made the playoffs. When you had 3 different quarterbacks, you had Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and you had Mason Rudolph. 3 different quarterbacks in, a lot of injuries piled up, and you finished still in that spot. Come on. I should tell you something. And I know the Browns had the same situation kind of as well, but now we got Justin Fields. Yeah, Russell Wilson added to as well. And you look at the Browns, I still don't trust Deshaun Watson yet. Deshaun Watson has not been the same quarterback ever since he left the Texans. I don't know what's going on with him. I have no idea. Like he's not been the same quarterback because he was very good at the Texans. I think he was a 4-time Pro Bowler. But ever since he got to the Browns, he has not been the same quarterback. He has been a little lackluster, a lot of injuries, been banged up, and been hurting the Browns a little bit. They're like, hey, we went further with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield got us a playoff win, and we almost got to the AFC Championship with him. We fell a little short to the Chiefs, but overall, he almost got there. So I still was surprised they got rid of Baker Mayfield, and they did get rid of him for Deshaun Watson. But Baker Mayfield have been proving more than what Deshaun been doing. He got more playoff wins than him as well. But I think overall, the Browns are a good team. And you know, it's crazy. All these teams could make the playoffs, no matter where they ranked in the division. All these teams make the playoffs. Last year they couldn't make the playoffs. If the Bengals would have won one more game, they would probably been in the playoff spot as well. So it's kind of crazy how these teams are always like neck and neck. They had every team in the division had a winning record. The only team in the NFL last year to have that, and the first team since like 1940 something to have that record as well. So my rankings for this, I say Ravens first. Even though it hurt me to say it, Ravens first, Steelers second, Bengals third, Browns fourth. So I think that's my ranking right there. It's just due to injuries because Joe Burrow is an amazing player. Now if he was like if he didn't have the injury history, he might be first or second on this list. But the Bengals did a lot of injuries. Quarterback always hurt. And then Browns, same thing as well. So I feel like the injuries might plague them a little bit. But overall, this is my rankings for the AFC North. Now moving on to the AFC West. We have, of course, the rankings of the odd makers had Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. In my opinion, I say, yeah, Chiefs still first, of course. Reigning champions, back-to-back champions. Somebody got to stop them. Chargers second. With Coach Harbaugh, I agree. And then I think the Raiders are better than the Broncos. Raiders got a good team. Antonio Pierce gonna do a good job. It's just a quarterback situation. Gardner Minshew is cool, but I don't see him as being no super game changer. But he's a Pro Bowl level type guy. Pretty solid guy who you can rely on throughout the season. And the Broncos, I don't know who the quarterback gonna be to start the season off. I know Bo Nix got drafted. I don't know if he's going to start straight off the back or they're going to kind of like ease him into things. They won't throw him to the fire yet because the team is still rebuilding. We're going to see what happens. But I agree with the AFC West list. I think the odd makers did a good job with that one. Let's move on next to the NFC conference, which was going to be starting off first with the NFC East. Okay, NFC East, they have the Cowboys 1, Eagles 2, Giants 3, Commanders 4. I do not agree with this list. I think the Cowboys are a good team overall. Now they lost some pieces, but they lost a few pieces like Tony Pollard, but they didn't add a lot of pieces either. So they added Ezekiel Elliott, which is not nothing too crazy. Now Ezekiel Elliott not a terrible player. I think he's still capable of giving them maybe 800, 900 rushing yards, but I don't know if it's gonna be a super game changing piece, especially with the injury history and him getting a little older as well. But I say the Eagles, they're fully healthy. Last year Eagles got banged up badly. The Eagles would be first in my opinion in the NFC East. I have the Cowboys 2, of course. But the Eagles and Cowboys always be on par, so coming down to the wire, I could kind of put a tie right there between those guys. gonna be either or. And I say the Commanders in front of the Giants. I do not trust Daniel Jones to be the quarterback. So I say the Commanders first, then the Giants last. I like Coach Brian Daboll, but he's stressing. Brian Daboll be stressed. You see him on the sideline throwing his headset, throwing tantrums like, what is going on? Throwing stuff and getting angry and stuff like that. He turned all red and stuff like the Kool-Aid man. I'm like, he be boy, like his blood pressure is getting real high. Like Daniel Jones, don't get me wrong, he's not like awful or anything, but he's just not the answer for the Giants. The Giants management paid him all that money. They keep forcing it, saying he's gonna be good this year. He's gonna be good this year. I'm like, come on, man. Like, go out there and get you a quarterback that can fit your team. Maybe Daniel Jones might be good somewhere else, a different team or something, but he's not the answer for the Giants. And the Giants keep trying to force it. And I feel like it's gonna lead to a lot of people getting fired like that. So hopefully not, but a lot of people might get fired because of the Giants keep trying to force that narrative. Then Saquon Barkley, who basically got Daniel Jones paid, is not on the team anymore. And a lot of different things that happened and occurred. They got a receiver, of course, Malik Neighbors. They added him, but the O-line is still not the best. The defense was pretty good the past 2 years like that, but the defense can't do everything. The offense, they go out there and put some points up. And I feel like Daniel Jones can't be a guy who drops back and throw it 35 plus times a night. No, you need to have a running game. So missing the running back there, and also the O-line not being the best is gonna be something crazy. So I think the Commanders have a better record than the Giants and finish third in the division. Out of Eagles or Cowboys, either one, be first. I think the Eagles might get them over the edge, so they have a little more firing power on offense. But it can go either way with those two guys. I think the Eagles and Cowboys are the two top kings of the throne in that division, and the other teams are just looking on. But moving on next to the NFC South. Okay, NFC South, we have Falcons. The odd makers have Falcons, Bucks, Saints, and Panthers. Now, I don't agree with the Falcons being first. I'll pick the Bucks first. I like Baker. Ain't gonna lie to you. I like Baker Mayfield more than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a good player. Don't get me wrong, great player. I think he might be a better quarterback in a regular season than Baker Mayfield. But when push comes to shove, when they kind of trying to win the division or trying to play in the playoffs or something like that, Baker Mayfield gonna find a way to get done. I think they're gonna come down to the wire, probably most likely to the Bucks and Falcons playing the game for a division. I think Baker Mayfield in the clutch situation gets the job done. So I think Baker Mayfield will lead the Bucks to being the first seed. They got Antoine Winfield back as well, so I think they're gonna be the first seed. The first in the NFC South, and I'm gonna say the Falcons be 2. Saints probably 3rd, yeah, and Panthers 4th. I know Panthers got added Xavier Legette, Big Country. They call him Big Country right there because he's very, very country. I'm from Texas, but I don't think I'm country like that. But Legette, very country, got that southern, super southern accent and everything. A big target on the outside from Carolina, North Carolina. He was an amazing player. Throw the ball to him, 50-50 ball. He has great extension, great control, solid awareness as well. So he's gonna be a big time target for Bryce Young. But I feel like they're still kind of building up the team. So I don't feel like they'll be able to strike this year. But we'll see what happens. But my rankings will be Bucks first, Falcons second, Saints 3rd, and then Panthers 4th. And moving on next to the NFC North. Okay, the NFC North the odd makers for NFC North had the Lions first, Packers 2nd, Bears 3rd, and Vikings 4th. Now, I agree with the Lions being first. Yes, I do. I agree with the Packers as well, being 2nd. And I agree with the whole thing. Yeah, I agree with the Bears being 3rd and the Vikings 4th. Yeah, that's kind of how I put it too. I think the Lions might have the number 1 record in the NFC and maybe the number 1 record in the NFL as well. The Lions are a team that was already great. And they added more pieces as well to the team. So now you look at the team that's kind of like hungry. They got a taste of what it's like to get almost there. The NFC Championship fell short to the 49ers, had the lead, blew the lead, fell short. They had that taste in their mouth. And Coach Campbell, going to use that. He's going to use that throughout the whole season. He's a very good coach. He wears a heart on his sleeve. He's going to use that that drive. He's going to use that loss. He's going to use that as a weapon for his team so they can keep getting better like that. But like, look, it's going to fall short again. It's going to fall short again unless you guys prove it. I think they're going to be coming out there with a vengeance a little bit. I think they could possibly be 14-win team. I think the Lions have that ability to be 14-win team. Jared Goff been playing phenomenal football the past 3 years, kind of getting overlooked a little bit first until last year he finally got the credit that he earned. But ever since he got to the Lions, he's been playing some good football. And then you look at the pieces they added. Monte Brown been playing good football too, and they drafted him a few years back. And then you seen little by little they started building the team up, and now I feel like they're a team that kind of built a team to go can compete and contend for a Super Bowl. So I think the Lions might have the best record in the whole conference and maybe the whole NFL as well. So I agree with the Lions being first. Packers 2nd. Jordan Love did a phenomenal job last year. 34 touchdowns, so that's I think 11 interceptions. Amazing player. beat the Cowboys down badly, and then you got to the second round, fell a little short to the 49ers, but you see the potential that is there. And they added some young pieces too as well around him, like Josh Jacobs, running back. I think it'll be a nice addition, added him to the team. So they're going to be out there playing real good. They added that safety too as well, McKinney, the former Giant. They added him too as well to the backfield. So they're going to have a nice little roster there, and a lot of their players are very young. They're all like 25. I'm not calling them young, they're older than me still, but 25, 24, 26, they're kind of around that age, so they're gonna have a nice core for the long run. So I agree with this entire list right here though. But moving on to the last spot, which is the NFC West. Okay, the odd makers have the NFC West. They have the 49ers first, they have the Rams second, they have the Seahawks the third best odds, then they have the Cardinals last. And I actually agree with this list. I think this list is correct. Well, I might move the Seahawks and Cardinals around actually. I'm gonna move the Seahawks to last and move the Cardinals to third. But overall, I think everything else is correct. 49ers still have that strong, stable of a team. They're going to be out there dominating the division like they've been doing for the past few years. Rams going to be up there too as well. You can never count out Coach McVay. Coach McVay will find a way to make things happen. So they can go out there and do some things. And then the Seahawks, I think they'll be a team that may be competitive, of course, but I don't know if they're going to be able to be up there and par with top guys in the division, but we'll see what happens. But I think the Cardinals are getting Kyler Murray back fully healthy. They added Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft, which is a phenomenal player, phenomenal athlete. He's fast, he's quick, he can play the ball in the air, he's a good route runner, he can do everything. Everything you think of, he can do it. Marvin Harrison's an amazing player. He can be a generational type player. So adding him to your team was a big get. So they had a lot of different pieces, because I think the Cardinals and the Washington Commanders added a lot of players in the draft. They didn't really trade none of their picks away. They kind of kept all those picks and just add a lot of guys to build up that young core. So I think they're going to be competing and probably finish third-ish around, and maybe the playoffs as well, because the NFC is still open. AFC a little tougher. The NFC, you can make the playoffs probably with 9 wins, like some teams did last year. AFC, you're going to need to at least win maybe 10 to maybe get the 7th spot or 11 or something like that. So it's a little tougher in the AFC. So the NFC is a little different. I ain't saying it's like a soft conference, but NFC is a little different. But the AFC, you're going to have to at least win 10, 11 games to try to get the 7th or 6th spot. So we're going to see what happens. But this is my rankings for some of the divisions. The odd makers versus my rankings in the division. How I think the division is going to go this season. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think and what you guys have at each team, if you're ranking yourself or the division your favorite team is in. But I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Leave a like and subscribe for more content. And yeah, peace out.